Okay, welcome back to Big Head Small Cap Investing, where we explore the bounds of incompetence both in the market and in video production. I just did this whole video. It was fantastic. I shared brilliant ideas, and I realized I wasn't recording anything. So I will go over some of it again for the benefit of posterity, and and then we'll just make this a short video. Since I've already recorded it, only I didn't record it. I already did it, but no one will ever see it. So, okay. So here's the progress we made. I finished up on these three names, which were the three I hadn't finished as of last time. Navitas Semiconductor, I have put as a 3. It's probably my most angst in doing so because it's my fastest grower. It's doing something cool. It's differentiated. It's into a huge market. My problem is their gross margin. Their gross margin's like 25, 30%, something like that. And they're not profitable. And they're just barely, they're making like over $2 million in gross margin, which means they've got a lot more top line growth to go before we actually can see profitability on the bottom line. All that's totally fine. Great companies, tons of great companies have gone through that same transformation, but they're not super cheap, and so I'm not going to chase. I'm just going to hopefully we'll get a pullback or something, and I'll be able to buy in. Nayax and Perion, I both left at 4s. Perion is growing a little bit on the slower side, but it's not super expensive. 84 million, which is with a quarterly cash flow of like 40. So I think there's real value there. And Nayax or whatever is a payment gateway basically. And again, they're growing well. They're growing like so smoothly and directly. I just love this. This is much better in my mind than this, which has the seasonality. You see that number is bigger than this number. That's because that's Q4. This is a Q3. Q4 should be this coming Q4 should be even higher than the 209. But nonetheless, this one's just like, woo, straight up, just love it. So that said, they're not profitable, and they so, I don't want to run after it. So then what I did is I reset my very interesting watch chart in my account. So we just have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 names we're going to pay attention to. For now, we have this is our very interesting list. We have our interesting list as well. And my goal is to deploy 50% of my capital. As I said, I already bought GigaCloud Technologies, and you can tell I bought it and verify I bought it because not only is there a star, but it's done nothing but go down since I purchased. So, of course, why would it be going down? Because I purchased. That's how you know. So, anyway, so yeah, I'm going to try to get into most of these or all of them over the next couple of days. Now, I went through a bunch of their charts, and what I found is their charts really coincide. They're almost a multiplier on the market itself. So a lot of them are low in November and have worked their way up through December. Like if you look at Blade Air Mobility, and we do year. Nope, let's not do that. Let's do more charts. Let's do 1 year there. All right, so it's a little bit more fine-grained. You can see a low here in November, followed by a run up, and you're like, okay, what was that? Well, maybe it was the earnings call. But look at this chart. Look at the way that chart looks. And you're going to see that same pattern on almost all of the companies in this list. So let's go to Crescendo. More charts. 1 year. Boom. The only difference is what it looked like beforehand, but the exact same thing around the exact same time ran up. That's crescendo. 4-star. More charts. Little bit different. It was doing well, and it hit. Again, before November, they all look different. But again, you got the same exact thing. November ran up. So my point is basically that's the market moving. And that's not something I should hold against these companies. I shouldn't say, oh, let's wait for them to go back to those November numbers, because if I'm waiting for them to go back to those November numbers, what I'm really saying is I'm waiting for the market to go down. And I don't have an opinion on the market. Actually, I do have an opinion. I think it's going to go up. But I don't have any sense for timing, and I don't want to play that game. Let's look at gravity. I'm sure we'll see a similar thing. November, boom. Yeah, we're just going to see that on all of them. They're all good names. They're all running in sort of a multiplier effect with the market. I think there's one of these that looks slightly different, but let's see. Nope. Same again. And Perion. I think I might have missed that the NIAC, but it doesn't matter. We're just looking at the same. So you get it. Same chart. They all look differently. November, because that's more longer term effects. But from November on, they all have this big spike and then more or less a flat motion. So that's the market. I'm going to look at this flat motion. So for like Perion, I'll look at trying to get a good value relative to these bumps and not trying to go back to here, because I don't want to make a bet on the market. I'm only deploying half my capital. If the market is going to tank, then great. I can go ahead and make additional investments, but I'm not going to be fully invested at this point. So I will get there, by the way, soon enough. If you don't fully invest, then you're just going to lose. You're just going to lose, because when the market goes up, you won't participate sufficiently. So anyway, but for right now, I'm going to hold off and just try to pick my moments relative to these more recent bumps. So that's what I'm doing. I will let you know tomorrow what trades I made and at what prices I got, and we'll go from there. All right, talk to you later.